People who win the lottery report higher rates of anxiety, insomnia, and stress-related illness within 2 years than people who never won at all. Not less, more. And the bigger the jackpot, the worse the symptoms. Something inside the human body does not treat wealth as a reward. It treats it as a warning. Your nervous system is running a program that was written roughly 200,000 years ago. And that program has never been updated. It was designed for a world where resources were scarce, where standing out from your group meant exile, and where exile meant death. Right now, in the background of every financial decision you make, that ancient code is still executing. Here is what scientists have found. When the brain detects a sudden or significant change in social status, either upward or downward, it activates the same neural circuitry as physical danger. The amygdala fires. Cortisol floods the bloodstream. The body shifts into threat response. Your promotion and a predator trigger the same alarm system. This was documented in a landmark study out of University College London, where researchers mapped brain activity during social status changes. Rising in rank produced measurable stress responses in subjects who had no conscious awareness of feeling threatened. Their bodies knew something their minds did not. Wealth is a social signal, and social signals are biological events. The technical term is status incongruence. It is the gap between who your nervous system believes you are and who your bank account says you have become. When those two things do not match, the body reads the mismatch as instability. Instability, in the old program, is the first sign that something lethal is approaching. Think about what wealth actually requires you to do. It requires you to separate yourself from your original group. It requires you to move to different neighborhoods, develop different habits, speak in different rooms, and make decisions that your family and childhood friends may never relate to. Every single one of those actions registers as social exile in the ancient brain. And social exile meant death. This is why self-sabotage around money is not a character flaw. It is a survival reflex. The person who unconsciously overspends after a raise, who picks fights with partners after a business success, who suddenly cannot sleep the night before a major financial opportunity, they are not weak. Their body is doing exactly what it was built to do. It is trying to bring them back to known, safe ground. Researchers at the University of California monitored cortisol levels in participants across different income brackets and found something unexpected. The highest stress markers did not belong to the poorest group. They belonged to people in transition, those actively moving between economic classes. The body during financial ascent is under more sustained physiological pressure than the body simply living in poverty. Climbing is more stressful than staying still. There is also the threat of visibility. Wealth makes you seen in a new way. In ancestral environments, being seen was dangerous. Predators see you. Rivals target you. A member of the group who accumulated more resources than others was a target for conflict and resentment. The nervous system has a name for this too. It is called conspicuous threat response, and it manifests as the chronic low-level anxiety that many newly wealthy people describe as feeling watched, exposed, or somehow fraudulent. Imposter syndrome, the phenomenon where high achievers feel like frauds despite objective evidence of success, is not psychological weakness. It is your threat system actively building a cover story. If you can convince yourself you do not really belong at this level, you have a reason to retreat. Retreat means returning to the group. Returning to the group means survival. The brain is not wrong. It is just running the wrong century's software. The physical consequences are measurable and serious. Elevated cortisol over months and years suppresses immune function, disrupts sleep architecture, accelerates cellular aging, and increases cardiovascular risk. Studies tracking upwardly mobile individuals across decades have found elevated inflammatory markers, higher incidence of autoimmune flare-ups, and shortened telomere length, a direct biological measure of how fast the body is aging during periods of economic transition. The body is aging faster precisely because you are becoming more successful. That is not a metaphor. That is cellular biology. Your immune cells are shorter-lived during the climb. Your inflammation is higher. Your recovery from illness is slower. The system designed to keep you alive is consuming years of your life in exchange for keeping you from rising too far above the level it considers safe. So, what can actually be done about this? The answer begins with understanding that you cannot argue with the nervous system. You cannot simply decide not to feel threatened. But you can do something the ancient brain never anticipated. You can build a new tribe. Research on successful long-term wealth builders consistently shows one behavioral pattern above all others. They deliberately and systematically build a social reference group that matches their new economic reality. When your nervous system looks around and sees that the people it identifies as your group also have wealth, the threat signal diminishes. The body stops reading prosperity as exile because your community reflects prosperity back at you. This is not about abandoning where you came from. It is about giving your nervous system evidence that you can belong somewhere new without dying. Evidence is the only language the amygdala speaks. There is also a practice researchers call narrative identity updating. In controlled studies, individuals who spent time each week consciously rewriting their personal story, literally describing themselves in writing as someone for whom financial security is normal, showed measurable reductions in cortisol within 8 weeks. The brain is plastic. The threat map can be redrawn, but it requires deliberate, repeated input, not just positive thinking. The deeper truth this science is pointing toward is one that almost no financial advice ever acknowledges. The obstacle to wealth is not primarily external. It is not the economy, the market, or your skill set. It is a body that experiences your own success as a biological emergency and quietly, invisibly, consistently takes actions to end it. Until that system is addressed directly, every strategy, every plan, every windfall will eventually be routed back to the baseline your nervous system has decided is safe. The lottery winners who got sick were not unlucky. They were unequipped. Their bodies won something their nervous systems were never prepared to hold. The gap between the wealth you can acquire and the wealth you can actually keep is not a financial gap. It is a biological one. And the most important investment you will ever make is not in a market. It is in convincing your ancient, loyal, terrified nervous system that you are safe to survive your own success.